Wellington Cup Carnival begins on a Saturday with the running of the Group 1 Fusion Electrical Levin Classic. Let's get you through the 9-race card with Jason Tan. Jason, looking forward to Wellington Cup Day?
Yeah, always an outstanding carnival of racing, and Group 1 for the 3-year-olds, 5 colts with connections that will desperately be hoping to get that Group 1 for breeding purposes.
Yeah, Wellington Cup Day next week, of course, and we're reminded of that with the running of Race 1. That is the Wellington Cup Day next Saturday premiere.
What a reminder to open the card.
Metres, exactly. And I need it. The Fugitive at $2 after a really impressive win last time out. $4.40 about Louis Luck, who's hoping to get straight into the Karaka Million. I think there's about sort of 7 of these that are still, you know, and 18,000 gets them into the Karaka Million as well.
I think the Fugitive might close odds on. So for that reason, I'm a little bit surprised actually that the Fugitive is quite as long as that. I thought it might be around $1.75.
Interesting as well. Just don't mean to take you. Jacobom's out, so we'll run at Ellerslie on Sunday. So so that would mean the Fugitive even better.
Yeah, obviously the Tiako runners command plenty of respect, but the Fugitive is the horse that I've got to beat. Very impressive, wasn't it, on debut?
Yeah, I think they do like Louis Luck here as well. So, and they are hoping to get into the Karaka Million with that horse winning this race. Let's move you on to the second Willamette Travel Group Premier over the 1,200 metres, rating 72 gallops in action. Market says really even more wicker pitch and switch, and All in Mana at $5. How'd you see it?
You look at another race down the dog leg following the 2-year-olds in the first. All in Mana rates very well. Thought it was a good performance out of its grade last time. A little bit of a tricky... Oh, actually, the draw's okay, but it's just a case of the pace in the race. I don't think he's a natural go-forward horse. However, that draw should have the horse tucked in just in behind and will be really hard to beat if it gets clear run in the last 300. Yeah,
I mapped it into 1-1 with Comeback, the likely leader in the race. Let's move you on to the third, and our thoughts with the family of John Tannehill, one of the real personalities in the Wellington area in the racing industry, and he's remembered in the running of the third. Money here with Light My Cigar last start, winning $3.20 over Maduro at $4.155.
I thought Signon presented as a bit of value in the race. In a race that doesn't have an abundance of pace, I thought if Ryan Elliott can be positive and go forward on the horse, then might get the opportunity to hold out the challenges. But Like My Cigar was very good, I thought, last time at Te Rapa, but as an each-way bet, at an each-way price, Signon.
Okay, win strike race not great, but the last start run was good, wasn't it?
That's why I sort of gone each way, and you might be inclined to go more the place than anything else.
Fair call. Let's move you on to the fourth. This one, the Harrison's Carpet Premier, and this over the 1,400 metres where small field, Lucian Rio 260, Oecan 280 will be very tactical.
Very much. Oecan drawn to be on the speed. The Bandito we know has got good speed. Lucian Rio's a horse that has good speed. I thought maybe Awatane can get enough tempo, an even sort of tempo where it could finish into it. Again, not a massive amount of confidence in the small field, but look, you can bet top 3 in the small market with the TAB, so an emphasis on the place and an overall small spin, but a small each way on Awatane in a race that was not easy to pick the bones out of.
Okay, let's move you on to race 5, the Hanley Formula Premier, 2,100 ahead of the rating 65 gallops. It's a race that's got a real competitive edge to it. Franklin at $5 is in good form. Red Cayenne, wide barrier draw, but also in good form, and Diamond Belt 650. They're the head of the market.
65, 72, 82. 2,100 metre races are so difficult because the tempo is so hard to predict. A genuine tempo is very rare at these sort of events. For that reason, I'm happy to suggest that Franklin is the safe play. I won't be getting carried away in race number 5, though. It's a big field, and if you like a runner and you think it's going to map well, then play that. I think Franklin maps okay, and therefore he's sort of the safe play, but it's not really outside of the square. It's not unearthing any sort of form line that might be hidden.
Still $5 is okay?
It's okay. It's a big field, so you wouldn't take any less about any one runner in that race.
I had Franklin on top as well. Serenity does look the likely leader in the race. Let's move you on to the 6th. This one is the first of our stakes races, and it is the Group 3 Barnwood Farm Trentham Stakes, where Chance to Dance comes over 250, 126 favourite, over Consensus 380 and 136. So both performers at the top level and beautifully under the set weights and penalties conditions, Jason.
And it's just a case of to what level or how far from their best level are those two runners.
Yeah.
Consensus, I would have said before last start, you wouldn't take 380 with a barge pole. Having seen her last start, my hopes in her returning a competitive run have been sparked back up again.
Yeah.
So I've got her on top. $3.80, if she's at her best, I think is good. And chance to dance, I have them around that sort of price as well. So they're clearly on their best form, even a length or two below their best form are the runners to beat.
Yeah, difficult race. However, let's move on to the Group 1. This feature is the Fusion Electrical Live-In Classic. Madison County at 210 and 124 comes up favourite ahead of Hypnos at $5.50. Lincoln Falls $6 and $1.90. 2 months between races for Madison County. Is that a bridge too far?
I don't think so. Nice little play there, though.
I've been wanting to say it all day.
That's a solid 6 out of 10 on the panometer. More wonder in Hypnos are runners that have been backed with bookmakers to suggest that the market is a little bit wary of exactly the scenario that you've painted there. We've seen Dance come out and sort of do things slightly differently than our sort of mindset, I suppose. And if there are trainers that are going to get a horse fit enough to perform in a Group 1 race in a freshened state, it's Murray Baker and Aries Frozen. He's the horse to beat, no doubt. More Wonder is the horse that I'm going to spec, but I know that you have a high regard for Hypnos, and he was very impressive at Ellerslie, wasn't he, last time?
Yep, the other three, and also Lincoln Falls is the other one. I think, you know, that are the key runners in the race, but it does look as though it's a really compelling race.
It's a messy map for Lincoln Falls, isn't it? That's the thing that I'm sure between Lisa Latter and Jonathan Parks, they'll be trying to really formulate a couple of scenarios that could give him the best opportunity to go.
I've been really sympathetic with my map and got him into the 1-1, but whether he can do that from barrier 10, it's a little bit touch and go. Let's move you on to the next of our group races. It is the Anniversary Handicap, sponsored by Tui, backing a winner since 1889. Beefeater at 420, Windspell 380, 460 Dolcetto, Supera, who was terrific in the Calais Zuzu at 550.
Conditions of the race say Windspell wins. Form like Supera, the fact that she's on an upward plane, she was a big run last start.
Yeah.
She's drawn, I think, to, as long as Rosie Mize, she often is a stride slow out of the barriers, but if Rosie Mize able to get her out of the gates and travelling in the trailing position, then she's going to take all sorts of beating, I think. She's got a sharp turn of foot.
Yeah.
In a race that doesn't map with an abundance of speed, if she sits close, she'll outsprint them with clear running the last 300. So she's the horse on top.
Okay, no arguments there. I do like Dolcetto on the race as well. Race 9 is the Blue Star Premier to end the program, 1,600 metres. Portland Jimmy, who's on a winning streak. He's won 3 or 4. The last 2 have been impressive. 270, 132. Ahead of Savapack 550. When Harry Met Saddle, a lot of money for this one at 650. But we like a couple here at decent money, Jason.
Yeah, it's always a funny one, isn't it, Aidan, when you've got a horse that's comfortably beaten 2 runners that you like in the race. But I speak of Jessie G and Tom's, been soundly beaten by Portland Jimmy, and look, the weight swing's not massive. It's not so much that you would say because of the weight swing you want to be sort of going for that horse, but I think what shapes differently is there should be more pace in this race. That wasn't the case when Portland Jimmy won last start. He said on the speed, and it was a sprint home, these 2 horses got into bad positions according to how the race transpired. So with a more genuine tempo, with clear runs late, these 2 horses will run really well for you. Portland Jimmy's the top pick, but they're the bets for me. They actually really, I think, rate as sort of being 2 strong overs bets on the card, and that's to close the program.
Well, seeing the same way, that's rather scary. What should be to the program from Trentham?
Oh, this is the play of the program.
Play of the program?
Me. Yeah.
What about who's the horse that's going to win?
Probably the Fugitive. The Fugitive in the first from what I saw. But again, any time that you're going to make a big stand against a Tiaco 2-year-old is proven to be rather perilous, not only this season, but the previous few seasons.
So you go hard early and then you save it up for a good go at the last.
Yeah, there are a couple of tricky races in the middle part of the card, a couple of horses that look well placed. It's just a case of quite where they are in their preparation. So watching them in the flesh and getting all that parade information with your own eye and the experts on course, of which you'll be one, will be most imperative.
Yeah, the others and myself on track, the other experts, and I'm on track as well. Let's get you.
I said you'll be one of them.
Get involved in the Punters Lounge. Plenty of other content here. Jason Tarn's about to go home, so am I. That's Trentham, the first day of the Wellington Cup Carnival.